Hi guys, so a question I get asked a lot is which IB mathematics course should I take? Now, it's actually not an easy question because unlike most subjects where you just have two courses, higher level and standard level, in mathematics there are four because IB maths is split into two. We have AA and AI, and AA is analysis and approaches, sometimes just called analysis, and AI is applications and interpretation, and both are offered at HL and SL, so there's four courses. I'm going to break this lesson or this video into three different sections. So one, firstly, what the IB says, secondly, what the universities say, and then finally what my opinion on the whole thing is. So firstly, what the IB says. So they say analysis and approaches is for students who are very interested in mathematics, whether it is real or abstract mathematical problem solving. Students interested in mathematics, engineering, physical sciences, and some economics. Applications and interpretation is more focused on modeling, statistics, maths in real life, and it's for students who are interested in social sciences, natural sciences, medicine, statistics, business, engineering, some economics, psychology, and design. Now, while they say that, the IB says this, that doesn't necessarily mean that the universities agree. So I'm going to show you some examples later on of different universities that actually would prefer this for some of these topics. So you've got to be very, very careful, and I'm going to stress that a lot when I get to the next section. So the mathematics subject breakdown. So these are the five different topics: number and algebra, functions, geometry and trigonometry, statistics and probability, and calculus. There are five topics in each of the four courses. So what this little bar chart tells you is the number of teaching hours per topic per subject. So, and it kind of gives you a guide to how much of each topic is in that course. So you can see here HL analysis has a lot more calculus than HL applications, and HL applications has a lot more statistics and probability than HL analysis, and it has a lot more functions than HL analysis. So that's the kind of modeling and statistics side of it that it says here. This is an emphasis on modeling and statistics, and you see that in the standard level applications as well. A lot more functions and statistics and probability. The standard level analysis, it's a bit more of an even spread, but certainly you can see they've got more calculus than applications, and more geometry and trigonometry as well. Okay, the assessments. So for both AA and AI, it is 80% exams, 20% internal assessment, which is the mathematical exploration, this here. So it's 80% exams, 20% exploration. That's for both HL and SL. The difference between HL and SL is that SL has two papers, paper 1 and paper 2, an hour and a half each, whereas HL has three papers, 2 hours, 2 hours, and 1 hour, and that's the same for both AI and AA. So the assessments are similar in structure, and the percentage is just 40% for standard level, and then 30%, 20% for higher level, and again that's the same for this too, for AI. The big difference in assessments between the two is that in analysis for paper 1 you are not allowed to use a calculator. And when I say calculator, I mean GDC, a graphic display calculator, which is very useful. So that's a big factor you need to consider when choosing your course. In AI, you are allowed to use a GDC for all papers. That's your technology allowed, technology allowed, technology allowed. No technology allowed. Technology is allowed for paper 2, and it is allowed for paper 3. Okay, so that's what the IB says. Now, the next section I want to look at or talk about is what the universities say. So I'm going to go through a number of different universities and show you what they are saying, what requirements they have. But before I do, I'll preface it by saying, make sure you do your own research. You got to go into the universities. There's thousands of universities. I'm only going to look at a few here. There's thousands of universities. You got to do the research, go onto Google, go into their website, find out what courses they require in order to get into your course. Speak to your counselors, do your research. So there is a bit of a hierarchy in terms of the 4 courses. The universities generally, I'll put them in this order. This is their preferred, this is their second, this is their third, this is their fourth. I've never seen a course in any university, and correct me below in the comments if you know one, that would prefer any of these 3 to this one. For example, to study mathematics in Cambridge, they say they want AAHL only. However, most universities will put these 2 on the same level as equivalent. The bigger issue by far is with the standard levels. A lot of universities, for specific courses that have kind of a high mathematics requirement, a lot of them say in a lot of countries that this one, they will only accept AASL and they won't accept AISL. So that's the kind of big issue that we have in our school, and I know lots of schools all around the world have it, that students who would normally take this one, AISL, and would prefer to take this one, their university says, and look, I'll go straight into the University of Toronto, it says mathematics AISL will satisfy advanced functions prerequisite only, whereas the other 3 satisfy the calculus and advanced functions prerequisites. So that's, and like that is required for science and business programs. So a lot of the time here I'm going to be talking about science programs, business programs, economics programs, and engineering programs. That they are the ones that require maths prerequisites now, or a high mathematics level prerequisite. But remember, there's plenty other courses like in humanities or languages that don't have such high requirements. So just because I'm showing you a course and our university that says we only accept this and we don't accept this, remember there's plenty other courses that have no problem with AISL. So yeah, I'll start with these 2 Canadian universities. So as I said, University of Toronto and Vancouver's the same, or UBC, University of British Columbia. So you can go into these websites and check out exactly what I'm doing. You can just read this, but look, it says here, IB Math Applications and Interpretations SL, or IB Math Studies, which is the old one, do not satisfy the math requirement to science, management, business, and economics. So as I say, do the research. This is one US University of Georgia Tech. Look, they're not as explicit in what they require, but generally, look, obviously Georgia Tech's going to want higher level mathematics. They say they're encouraged but not required to be competitive. So look, a lot of the time American universities, US universities, they're checking that you have challenged yourself in high school, whatever that may be. But certainly, again, if you want to get into a mathsy engineering course, higher level is probably going to be preferred, or at least analysis standard level. I'm going to do Bristol and Cambridge in the UK. So the UK is a bit different because their universities are kind of set up for A levels, which is the English system, education system. They do A levels, and often the students do 3 A levels, and that's what gets them into university. So what they do with the IB, the universities there, they say, right, well, your higher levels are a bit like your A levels. So their requirements are often what requirements on your higher levels. So here, for example, it says, and they do have an overall points, like 38 points overall, with 18 at higher level, including 7/6 at higher level mathematics, either of these. So they don't care if it's AA or AI, and any one of physics, chemistry, or these. So here you have to have higher level mathematics to do engineering in Bristol. So that would mean that if you were doing A levels, you would have to be doing mathematics. But say now we have medicine here. Medicine, they say 18 at higher level, including 6/6 at higher level chemistry, and one of the following: biology, physics, or mathematics. So you could get into Bristol medicine with AISL, because you could do higher level chemistry, higher level biology, and then standard level AI mathematics without a problem. So that's worth thinking about if you want to go to the UK for sure. I put in this Cambridge one just to show you that this is one example that they say they prefer analysis and approaches to higher level, to AI higher level. But they do say here, if this option is not available at your school, and this is an issue that I'm going to talk about later, Not all schools, in fact, most schools only do one HL. They don't do both HL. So they do say if it's not available at your school, please contact the college. So I'm sure if you're doing really, really, really well in school and your school doesn't offer AAHL, I'm sure Cambridge would be understanding. This is Erasmus in the Netherlands. This is one example of a Netherlands university, but a lot of them include, and a lot of the European universities like in Spain and Italy have a similar kind of stance where they don't accept AISL applications, SL, to get into, again, kind of maths-based programs. And here, interestingly, they say you need a 5 in AIHL or a 5 in AASL or a 4 in AAHL. So they kind of equate applications HL to analysis SL. I'll talk about that later. I wouldn't quite agree with that, but if that's what they want to do, that's what they're saying. But they don't accept, they say here, there is no AISL. Germany, they accept both HLs as the same to get into general university, and both SLs are the same to get into subject-specific university admission qualifications. So that's like subjects except those related to mathematics, technical studies, and natural sciences. UCD Ireland, these are just, again, some examples, guys. So it says, for programs with higher level mathematics requirement, we strongly recommend analysis and approaches. There you go. Sydney, I have a student here that's going to study medicine in Sydney, and they require AASL minimum. Again, here they don't accept AISL. Again, I want to be clear, this is only for subjects that have a maths requirement. Now, these are the ones that have that maths requirement. Now, I haven't pressed the plus here, but if you press the plus on this is economics, this is business, this is maths teaching, this is engineering, obviously, this is business law, medicine and sciences. So yeah, they won't accept applications. So that's important to think about if you want to go and study in Australia. Hong Kong, so for engineering, if you can read this, but it basically says AA or AIHL, and they consider them the same. And to get into business, they consider both courses the same. Either you're getting a 6 in standard level, either of them, or you're getting a 5 in higher level. Again, either of them are the same. Singapore, National University of Singapore, they're quite strict in that they really want analysis HL. So for all the kind of engineering ones, they want AAHL. But even if you go down to, say, real estate, they want maths AA, a pass in SL, chemistry or maths AA, or HL maths application. So they definitely don't accept applications SL, and they would prefer analysis for sure. Okay, that is what the universities say. As I said, guys, to be clear, that's only a very, very small number of universities that I've gone through. You have to go and do the research yourself. Okay, so I've put a little difficulty line here where this is easier and more difficult. I'm not going to say any of them are easy or difficult, but this is certainly easier and this is more difficult. So I don't think many people would disagree with me when I say that AISL is the easiest one, for sure. AASL is then the next easiest one. And I think the gap between these two is probably similar to the gap between these two. Maybe I should put this a little bit more to the left if we're being totally accurate, but again, that's not really that important. Some people and some universities claim that this needs to go down here, or at least somewhere here. I wouldn't agree with that. In terms of the course and the exam, as far as I can see, they're pretty much exactly the same. I would find both exams as difficult. The IA, the internal assessments, exactly the same. So for me, they are equivalent. Now, the other issue that I wanted to talk about is not all schools offer both of these. In fact, most schools only offer one. In fact, I don't know any school, again, please let me know in the comments if your school does, but I don't actually know any school that offers both. We had to choose one, and I chose AAHL, probably for the reasons I've explained from what the universities are saying. But so really what ends up happening is you don't have a choice between 4 courses, you have a choice between 3. You're either doing AISL, AASL, or a HL, whichever one your school happens to offer. So what I've done here is I've made 6 categories. Now, this is obviously, again, generalized. I find most students fit into one of these 6 categories. But if you have another category, of course, please just let me know, and I'll be happy to advise. But the first 2 here are the kind of easiest ones to deal with. If you are really good at math, and I mean really good as in you're getting the top grades, your teacher's saying you're really good and they're recommending you do higher level mathematics, this is an easy choice. Do HL math. The reasons are clear. It's a really, really fun course. You'll enjoy it. You'll be challenged. You'll learn a lot. Universities love it, so it'll really help you get into the university of your choice. And even employers love it. And if you're really good at maths, you're going to do well on it. You're going to get a good grade. I would actually get a better grade if I was in school. I'd have got a better grade, and I did, in higher level mathematics than I would in, say, standard level French. So while higher level maths is notoriously a difficult subject, it's not necessarily difficult for everyone, whereas other people might find other subjects more difficult. Second category, I'm really not good at maths. So this is a slightly controversial one. I believe strongly that everyone has the ability to become good at maths. However, if you are in grade 10 or the start of grade 11 and you're not good at maths, you haven't been prepared over the last 10 years to succeed in mathematics for whatever the reason, you don't want to go and do higher level mathematics. A bit like I believe everyone has the ability to learn how to speak French, but if you are not able to speak French to some level and you're starting grade 11, don't choose higher level French, and don't even choose standard level French. So if you're in this category, do this one. It's an easy decision. These are the 2 easy ones. If you're really, really good, do HL. If you're really not good, do AISL. Now you may say, but hang on, Mr. Flynn, you just show me loads of universities that don't like this for the courses that I like. Still, do this course. There's many, many university courses that will definitely accept this. So if you're in this category, you do this, choose this, and then find the university course that suits. Instead of saying, oh, well, this is the course I want to do. They require HL or AASL. I'm going to do this. No, that's a bad strategy. Do this. It'll make your life easier. It'll give you more points. And then you can definitely find a course that will suit you. Next one. This is the next easiest one. I'm strong in mathematics, but don't want to do HL. Right. If you're good at mathematics, and fair enough, you don't want to do HL. Not everyone does. Do AASL. It's challenging. You'll enjoy it. It keeps a lot of your options open in terms of university courses. And you might, again, depending how strong we're talking here, you might find AI too easy and might be a little bit bored. So for me, that's an easy decision as well. Do AASL. These 2 are the 2 difficult ones. I'm not good at math, but I need AASL for my university. So we have a lot of students in our school that fit into this category, and it's a bit of an issue, and it has been for years, and it's true in all schools around the world, many schools. If you're not good, but you need AASL for your university, so like business in Canada, prime example, we have a lot of students that want to do business in Canada, and they are saying you need this. Now, you have 2 options essentially. You're either going to do this, or you're going to do this. So there's a few things you need to ask yourself. 1, do I absolutely have to go to that university? If you do, then are you prepared to put in a huge amount of work into mathematics? Because this is hard. There's no doubt about it. This is a hard course. If you're willing to put in though a huge amount of effort, it's going to become a bit like another HL. It's going to be like 4 HLs for you. And you're determined and you say, no, I'm happy to do what it takes and I'm going to succeed, then fine. Do AAS